Everyone, welcome to Crafting in Quarantine. My name is Dabney. I'm the young adult librarian at the Twin Lakes Library System and I use they, them pronouns. If you can hear a cat yelling, that's my cat Alan. So tonight we're doing something a little bit different and we're actually going to be baking peanut butter cookies, and so this recipe is vegan because I'm vegan and it is delicious. It's like one of the best recipes ever. I make these cookies for like family and friends and they always say like how much they really like them. And it's also great because it only takes like 6 ingredients. Okay, so we're gonna get started, and what you're gonna need is sugar, peanut butter, baking soda, flour, vanilla extract, and your milk of choice. So since these are vegan, I'm using almond milk. That's what the recipe calls for. And for the flour, you can make these with regular flour or gluten-free flour. I am trying to use up this oat flour, so that's what I'm going to be using. And I'm going to be making a half recipe today because I live by myself and like I could eat an entire whole recipe of peanut butter cookies for sure, but I'm not going to. I'm trying to hold back a little bit. Sorry, I needed my evening cup of tea. It's been a long day. Okay, so I'm going to tilt this down and we're going to start adding ingredients and getting this going. So first off, you're going to want a half cup of sugar. And this recipe is really easy to remember because it's like equal amounts of sugar to peanut butter to flour. So half a cup of each of them. So now I'm getting a half cup of peanut butter. This is my gigantic jar of peanut butter from Kroger because I like peanut butter. I like to make peanut butter cookies a lot. I like to make this carrot soup that has peanut butter in it. And I mean, I just like peanut butter toast as well. So, it's really great. I always think peanut butter is kind of filling. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to mix together the peanut butter and sugar. And it kind of takes a while. So, I don't know if y'all can see. I'm trying to get it to where y'all can see. But I kind of try to press as I'm I just got sugar all on the counter. Oops. I'll have to add some more sugar in here to make up for that. Maybe I'll just keep my bowl this way. You guys can't see it, but that's alright. I'll show you the finished product. So it does take a little bit of time to get it mixed together, and you kind of have to scrape the peanut butter off, like, I don't know, at least once. Now, if you're like me and you're just making these for yourself, go ahead and lick the peanut butter off your finger if you're so inclined. I am. Peanut butter was going somewhere. I used to know this person who loved to cook, loved to bake, but was all the time like sticking her fingers into food that other people were going to eat. Well, that just bothered me. So I don't do it if I'm cooking, if I'm making this for somebody. But it's just me. Okay. So adding just a little bit of sugar to make up for the sugar I spilled on the counter. Okay. So that's your sugar and peanut butter. Next, what you're going to do is I'm going to read the ingredient, like the instructions, because I can't remember the order. Okay, next we add in our almond milk and vanilla, and then last of all, flour and baking soda. Okay, good. We are doing good. Okay, so we have 3 tablespoons of almond milk. I went ahead and measured that ahead of time. We have 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And you'll just kind of stir that until it is totally combined. I like to do it until like you can't see like any more like pockets of like wet ingredients, just to get it all even. So it's gonna look like that. And then we're gonna add half a teaspoon of baking soda. And as I've said before in my baking videos, I put it on my palm and kind of flatten out any lumps that might be in the baking soda. And then we're going to get a half cup of our flour. I already used my half a cup, so I'm using my 4th cup. 1, 2, and if you want to add like peanut butter, or like, not peanut butter, chocolate chips is what I meant to say. If you want to add chocolate chips or some other kind of thing to your cookie, I would say add that before you put in the flour, just because at this point it's a little harder to mix it all in. But again, you just want to stir until everything looks evenly combined, like that. Okay, tilt this up. I didn't mention this, but the oven has already been preheated to 350, so that's good. Now we're going to make the cookies on the tray. All right. Moving some stuff out of the way here. Okay. So the tray, you don't have to do anything to it. You don't have to grease it. You don't have to put parchment paper on it. I'm using this coffee scoop. It's a little bit more than 1 tablespoon, but you want about, a rounded tablespoon amount of cookie dough. And so, you just roll it on your palms till it's about, a ball. And I'm going to do 8 cookies on this tray. So I think the half recipe makes like 11 to 12 cookies. It just depends on like what size you're making, like what size your cookies are. All right. Okay, so that's done. Now what we're going to do is take a fork and we're going to press down on the cookies like this, and then you do it that way. So you're flattening them out, giving them this pattern. If you add chocolate chips, you know, I think you could maybe like skip this part. Just treat it like a regular chocolate chip cookie. And they make vegan chocolate chips, by the way, which I've had. They're really good. Alright, so there we go. We're going to pop these in the oven. Okay, and let's refer back to our recipe to see how long. Okay, so you bake them 10 to 13 minutes, and it says if you do it for 13 minutes, it'll be like a little bit crispier on the outside and very tender on the inside, and that is how I prefer my cookies. So let me set the timer. All right, cookies are going. We're gonna step away for a moment, you know, wash your dishes, do some kitchen cleanup, get ready for round 2, and we'll come back once the cookies are out of the oven. All right, I'm back. The cookies are done. So you bake them for 13 minutes, then you take them out of the oven, let them sit on the pan for 2 minutes to firm up, and then you transfer them to a wire cooling rack and let them cool down, and then eat them. So I'm going to take a bite. Look, it's so beautiful. Hands down, my favorite cookie ever. Right now they're still really warm and kind of soft and a little bit crumbly. They haven't been out of the oven too long, but yeah, they're good. You know, days later you can freeze them, take them out whenever you want. They're good all the time. So yeah, hopefully, you know, you can get a chance to try out this recipe. And yeah, I know this wasn't really a crafting video per se, but I don't know, just changing things up a little bit. All right, y'all, have a good week. Bye.